So we are getting ready to take our test over geometry, and I'm going to go over your review questions. This first question, they give us a triangle. A common mistake I've seen is that people are trying to use the area formula, but you'll notice that there's nothing about area. It says what's the measure of angle C. So we don't know angle C, but we know two things. We know angle A and angle B, and we know that altogether they add up to 180. So we can add angle A and angle B. Remember that we have to line up our decimal points, so we have to make 80 into 80.0. And when I add those together, I get 112.8. And then I have to subtract from 180. Again, I have to make that 180.0 because I need to line up my decimal places. And the 180 has to go on top because it's bigger. I can't take 8 away from 0, so I have to borrow. I have to go all the way over here to the 8. It's going to become a 7. This will be a 9, and this will be a 10. I subtract and get 67.2. The second question is an area question, and it's talking about a trapezoid. So your formula for a trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Don't forget that on your star chart, it's going to say 1/2 instead of divided by 2, but it means the same thing. If you have a side, go ahead and get rid of it. So my bases are 8.5 and 6, and my height is 4. When I add 8.5 plus 6, I have to line up my decimal places again, so I've got to make that 6.0. So that comes out to 14.5. I'm multiplying that times 4. So 14.5 times 4 gives me 58. And I want to find half of 58. So 58 divided by 2 comes out to 29. So it's 29 square centimeters. I know it seems like a lot for those trapezoids, but if you just take it one step at a time, you will be fine. A lot of people have been getting confused on this one because they see the word rectangle and they see a rectangle down here, and so they've been using the rectangle formula. But it says what is the area of the triangle. So you can either look at this top triangle or the bottom one. I'm going to look at the bottom one because I know if this up here is 12, this also has to be 12. And if this is 5, this also has to be 5 because that's how rectangles work. So I'm just going to ignore this up here. I'm just looking at this triangle, and that means this is a side, so I'm going to get rid of it. And I have to use my triangle formula. Base times height divided by 2. So my base is 12, my height is 5. 12 times 5 is 60, and half of 60 is 30, and it's inches, so square inches. A lot of people have been putting 60 today because they're either forgetting to divide by 2 or they're using the wrong formula, and so they're just doing base times height. Okay, so this is talking about an area of a parallelogram, and so it's saying the whole area is 57.6, and it says the base is 9 inches. We want to know the height, so we don't know this height right here. And so when we know the area, but we're looking for one of the other measurement, we have to divide. So 57.6 divided by 9. That doesn't go in. This goes in 6 times, which is 54. And then 9 goes into 36 4 times. So the answer is 6.4 inches. Here we have another parallelogram, but this time they want the area. So we're going to use the formula for area of a parallelogram, which is base times height. We're not going to use any sides. We're also not going to divide by 2 because, again, that's not in the formula. So my base here is 10, and my height is 6. So that gives me 60 square centimeters. And this is volume. Remember that volume equals length times width times height. So we're going to do 18.4 times 8 times 11. And immediately I know 8 times 11. So instead of multiplying the 18 times 4 times 8 and then that by 11, I'm going to go ahead and make this 88 because I know that. So now all I have to do is 18.4 times 88. So that's 32, and then that's 64, which gives me 67, and that's 8 plus 6 is 14. Placeholder 0, and then I do the same thing again, and I add those together. 9, 11, 6, and 1. I have one decimal place, so I need one decimal place. So my answer is 1,619.2, and it was centimeters. So it's going to be cubic centimeters. So remember, volume, you just multiply all three dimensions, length times width times height. Okay, we've got another trapezoid. So again, we're going to do base 1 plus base 2 times the height, and then we're going to divide by 2. And so we've got bases of 12 and 5. I'm going to get rid of this side. Our height is 8. 12 plus 5 is 17. Now I need to do 17 times 8. So that gives me 136. And now I need to do 136 divided by 2. And that gives me 68. So it's 68 square feet. Janie had 3 straws. They were 2 inches, 3 inches, and 5 inches. Could she form a triangle? Why or why not? So remember that small plus medium has to be greater than large. And so our smallest one is 2, our medium one is 3, and our large one is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 is not greater than 5. 5 is equal to 5, and it's supposed to be greater. So the answer is no, she could not form a triangle, and it's because 2 plus 3 is not greater than 5. Okay, so remember that you can go back through this video. You can pause it at any time if you need more time to look at it. You can rewind it to hear something again. Let me know if you need anything answered before your test, and good luck.